Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing, and the latest whispers are all about a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the NFC South and redefine the Falcons' future. Word is, the New York Giants, currently sitting at a brutal 2-11 record and clearly in full rebuild mode for the 2025 season, might be looking to deal one of their key defensive players, Dexter Lawrence. Now, for the Falcons, this isn't just a minor move. This could be a turning point in their quest to build a dominant defensive front that can finally carry them deep into the playoffs, and who knows, maybe even a Super Bowl. Let's break down what's being talked about. The Giants, overwhelmed by cap constraints after recent extensions and struggling on defense, allowing a staggering 367 points so far this season, are reportedly open to shipping Dexter Lawrence, the interior defensive tackle who's been a force for them. The proposed deal would involve sending Lawrence to Atlanta in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. The Giants, with their cap tightness and a need to reset, are looking to stockpile draft capital, especially as they try to rebuild from the ground up. They're also eyeing cap space, around $12 million, and want to retool their offensive line, which has been a mess at times this season. This trade would be a clear signal that the Giants are prioritizing cap flexibility and future assets over competing in 2024. Now, Dexter Lawrence isn't just any player. He's a dominant interior force, a true game-changer on the defensive line. Over his career, he's amassed over 500 tackles with 35 sacks and has been a relentless disruptor. In 2025, despite playing only 13 games and battling knee injuries that limited his snaps, Lawrence still managed to generate impressive numbers: 5 sacks, 3 sacks, assuming a typo in the original, but it's likely 3 tackles for loss and an interception for 37 yards. His PFF grade, an outstanding 88, 5 overall with an even higher run defense grade of 92. What makes him so valuable is his ability to hold the point of attack, especially against doubles, as he showed in Week 5 against the Cowboys with 3 tackles for loss and a forced fumble. His strength in those moments makes him an elite run stopper and pass rusher, capable of changing the game on any snap. For the Falcons, this is a huge opportunity. Currently sitting at 4-8, their defense has been a work in progress. They're giving up about 27 2-points per game and allowing roughly 150 yards per game on the ground, numbers that simply aren't good enough if Atlanta wants to contend in the postseason. With the injury to Drake London affecting the offense, the Falcons need every edge they can get on the defensive side. Adding Dexter Lawrence would give them a serious boost in the trenches, a player who can elevate the entire front seven. The projection is that Lawrence would improve their stops by around 15%, generate over 12% more EPA per run, and significantly upgrade their interior pressure. He'd be a clear upgrade over current interior tackles like Jarrett, who has been solid but not on Lawrence's level. Imagine the impact of Lawrence paired with Grady Jarrett, creating a formidable duo that can collapse the pocket and shut down the run, freeing up the linebackers to make plays. His presence would also elevate the defensive unit, similar to how Aaron Donald boosted the Rams' interior disruption in recent years. With Lawrence in the fold, the Falcons could reduce explosive plays by roughly 15%, especially against division rivals like the Saints and Panthers, who rely heavily on big runs and play action. His ability to consistently produce tackles for loss, around 1.8 per game, would add a new dimension to Atlanta's defense, making them much tougher to move the ball against. Looking ahead, the potential impact on the Falcons' playoff push is significant. With Lawrence in the middle, they could contain high-powered offenses like the Saints, Alvin Kamara, whose runs have been a problem for defenses this season. His ability to clog lanes and force offenses into longer third-down situations would be invaluable, especially during critical moments late in the season and in the playoffs. The Falcons, who have struggled with consistency on defense, would suddenly become a much more balanced team, capable of dictating the pace and controlling the line of scrimmage. As for the bigger picture, this move could be a game changer not just for Atlanta, but for the overall NFC playoff landscape. The Falcons have been building their team with a focus on improving their trenches, and adding a player of Lawrence's caliber would accelerate that process. It's reminiscent of the Titans' trade for Jeffrey Simmons in 2025, which boosted their interior pass rush and helped them make a deep playoff run. The Falcons, with their young core and this potential upgrade, could become a real force in the postseason, especially if they can continue to develop their offense around Desmond Ridder and their talented receivers. Now let's talk about the numbers and the odds. If the Falcons manage to land Dexter Lawrence, their Super Bowl odds would see a significant uptick. Currently, betting odds place Atlanta at around plus 30-0, pretty long shots, but with Lawrence, those odds could shrink dramatically to plus 12-0 or even better, especially if the defense becomes a top 5 unit in the league. The addition of Lawrence would serve as an X-factor in containing explosive offenses, giving Atlanta a real shot at not just making the playoffs, but making noise once they get there. His ability to shut down runs like Kamara's or Christian McCaffrey's would be pivotal in tight playoff games where every yard counts. In essence, this trade isn't just about adding a player, it's about reshaping the Falcons' identity. It's about finally establishing that dominant defensive line that can take over games. The rebuild is progressing, and with Lawrence, the Falcons could be on the fast track to becoming a true contender once again. The NFC South is ripe for the taking, especially if the Falcons can add this kind of talent to their roster. The division is wide open, and with the right moves, Atlanta could claim the throne and prepare for a Super Bowl run that fans have been dreaming of for years. The road to the postseason is always tough, but with a player like Dexter Lawrence, the Falcons' path becomes much clearer and much more formidable. The potential is enormous. Imagine a defense that can dominate the trenches, forcing turnovers, and giving Desmond Ridder more opportunities to lead a high-powered offense. With Lawrence on their side, the Falcons aren't just rebuilding, they're reloading for a serious shot at the big game. The NFC South better watch out because Atlanta is coming, and they're bringing the big guns. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, fans are already speculating about how this move could reshape the Falcons' future. With a revamped interior line anchored by Lawrence, the Falcons could turn their defense into a nightmare for opponents. They'd be more physical, more disruptive, and much more confident in their ability to close out games. It's a move that could propel them from rebuilding mode into genuine contenders, especially if they can complement this with continued development on offense and smart roster management. And let's not forget the bigger picture in the NFC. The landscape is shifting, and teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys are still the favorites, but the Falcons with Lawrence could be the dark horse that surprises everyone. The playoff picture is wide open, and with a dominant front four, Atlanta could be the team that upsets the usual favorites. It's all about building that championship-caliber defense, and if the rumors are true, the Falcons are on the brink of making a bold move that could put them back in the Super Bowl conversation. In conclusion, if the Falcons can pull this off, it will be a statement that they're serious about winning now, not just rebuilding. Dexter Lawrence would be a cornerstone piece for their defense, providing the kind of disruption and consistency needed to take Atlanta to the next level. It's an exciting time to be a Falcons fan because the possibilities are endless. The team's future could look very different in the coming months, and all signs point to Atlanta making bold moves to ensure they're not just contenders but champions once again. The NFC South is about to get a whole lot more interesting, and Falcons fans, you better buckle up because this ride is about to get intense. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news.